High income months aren't built on high volume posting. They're built on high converting content. So if you're posting every day or even 3 or 4 times a day and still not seeing the results that you desire, then this live will change how you think about content forever. Me and my girl Kwanda, we're going to walk you through how to monetize your content faster by posting less. And of course, using our business bestie, ChatGPT, to do it. Kwanda, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
So can I just say this? I love how you come all well put together and planned out and you got the hooks. And I'm just like, hi y'all, I'm here. I love that for us.
I try.
I
I
love
just think
that.
I'm constantly thinking about, okay, people are gonna watch this. They got to be interesting. Got to have a good hook. So I'm over here testing out these hooks.
I love that. And I'm just like, hi. Welcome in everybody. Happy Tuesday. Super excited to be here. This is another collab live that how long we been doing this? 3 weeks or
Yeah,
longer?
I think it's 3, 4 weeks. I think it's 4 weeks.
Four
This is probably
weeks.
our fourth one.
This is week 4. We come on here, we throw out gems, we have a good time with y'all. How this live will work is if you let us know in the comments, you're active, you're engaged, help us out. I'm Quanda Renee. I am an organic marketing strategist. That basically is a cute way to say I help people get visible online and make sales without paying money on ads. So that's all that is. And I'm super excited to be here today. We're going to give out some tea. We're going to talk about our business bestie, that Miss Chat GPT, and whatever else was on the agenda for us to talk about. Hey, Princess.
Hey, princess. Can I say how I love your intro? Like last week, you were like, "Really, Star? You just gonna come with this intro?" And you, I need to get mine together. So I could tell you was like, "Let me come prepared."
It's not together though.
I liked it. It resonated with me. I was like, "Yes, honey."
Hey, Keish.
Hey Keish, how you doing? Okay, so I am Shamara Starcox, TV producer and marketing coach. I help 6 and 7 figure business owners get seen and get paid by creating binge-worthy videos on social media. Today, I'm super excited for this conversation. Also, I just really love our lives because it's a lot of fun. So if you want to join in on the laughter with us, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. Feel free to just tell us how much you love the live. Don't be hating on us because we'll put you out. I'm kidding. I don't know how to do that. I don't, I don't know how to do
I
that.
don't know how to do that on YouTube either.
Okay.
TikTok, I know how to block you, but the other, I don't know YouTube yet.
YouTube. I don't know how to do that. Okay, let's jump into this conversation. So we're talking about not posting more, but posting less and being able to monetize faster by posting less. So how do you do that with either your brand or with your clients?
So I would use me as an example. Some months ago, I posted a video, and that video was just specific for a certain type of person, certain type of audience. And then, sorry, y'all, it's storming, and like I hear all the ticking, so that just threw me for a loop. So I'm sorry, y'all.
What is that?
It's my whiteboard. That wind,
Oh, I thought that was thunder. I was about to say.
it is thundering though.
I'm like, girl, duck for cover.
Tsunami just came out here. Just oh my god, it was nice all day. Sorry, y'all. That's the good thing about being live, and that's a good thing about being authentic. Anything goes, okay? Anything goes. But I was saying, when you get more intentional about your post, it becomes more about the quality and not the quantity. There have been posts where I'm very intentional. I know that I'm going to speak to a person, and I know that this video is going to be something to bring in conversions. And I've literally posted a video and made thousands of dollars just from that one video, and not from the platforms paying me, but from me talking about my product and selling my products. And I noticed that in July of last year, that I had the ability to.
She just froze, y'all. You already know it's a storm going on down in Georgia. It was getting good. Now we'll never know what she had the ability to do. Quanda, you might have to go out and come back in. Right? For real. Keish, you down in Georgia. It's storming for you too. Quanda, come back. It was just getting so good. Right? I'm saying, Princess, like, it's the storm. Well, at least she wanted us to let us know that it's walling down there in Georgia. Y'all duck for cover, okay? Let's see if she can come back. It might be like her internet service. Maybe it went out or something, and then it will have to come back. But I'll go ahead and jump in with how this works for me and my clients, and then she could just pop back on. Yeah, we lost her completely, so hopefully she'll be able to come back. Y'all pray for Georgia because it's not like it's wilding out there for y'all. I'm in New York. It's only gloomy here. It's not bad. But hopefully when she comes back, she can finish talking about, how she uses the strategy to teach her clients how to post less, but to monetize faster, right? So with me, well, I actually want to touch on some points she was bringing up. She was really talking about messaging, right? Like the importance of having a clear message that speaks to at one person, right? Like that part is so big. Like your message should speak to one person so that it's actually converting those people into customers. If you show up and you're speaking very general, oh, Keisha, you're in South Carolina? All this time I thought you were in Georgia. Where did I get that from? Right. So if you are putting out content, but it's general and it's speaking to everyone, then guess what? Your content is going to sound like this. Like Charlie Brown's teacher. No one understood her, so they're not going to understand you either. And you have to understand that on Instagram, TikTok, they have 1.5 and 1.6 billion users on these platforms. LinkedIn has 1 billion users on theirs, and I don't even know how much YouTube has, right? But oh, she might be texting me too. But about 30% of those users are business owners just like you who are putting out content to reach the similar audience like you are reaching. So if you're not speaking to that one person, guess what? It's going to be extremely hard for you to be able to convert. And it's going to be extremely hard for people to be able to hear what it is that you are talking about so that you can reach them, right? And so that's when you find yourself posting 3 or 4 times a day, posting every single day. I definitely don't recommend posting every day. I at least help my clients with posting at least a minimum of 5 times a week, right? And that's a mixture of live video, regular content, depending on if you're just starting out. Now, for me, when I'm helping my clients, what I like to help them to do is to actually have a social media system for posting content, right? So the goal isn't just to post, just to post. The goal is to post with a purpose, and that purpose is profits, okay? So if you're taking notes, you want to go ahead and write that in the chat. Post with a purpose, and that purpose is profits. And how can you do that? Okay, Quanda's back actually. Let's see.
Oh my God.
That storm tried to take you out. We were over here like, we gotta pray for Georgia. It's wilding down there.
It just came out of nowhere. That's so crazy. So like the power's out, but we're
I
good.
thought something like it looks darker now. So wait,
Yeah.
is it charged?
Yes, charged.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, if we gotta end early, we could just do 30 minutes. Because oh, but she's going to sleep after this, so you should be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was actually just giving a strategy for being able to post your content so that you can post less and actually monetize more. So when I'm finished with that, do you want to jump back into what you were saying?
Yeah. It'll come back to me.
Okay, sure. Yeah. So with this strategy in you posting, you want to be strategic on what it is that you're posting, right? So one thing you want to make sure, you know what, let me do it this way. I'm going to give you 4 E's, right? So this is a system for posting. If you follow these 4 E's, you'll be able to actually convert with your content, and you don't have to post all the time. So before I give you the 4 E's, when I first started doing this, I was posting 5 times a week, right? And that's it. I tried posting 2 times a day. That was exhausting. Kudos to all the people who can post that much, but it was really exhausting. Then I shifted to posting just 5 times a week. But when I understood what was converting for my content, I didn't have to post 5 times a week. Sometimes I post 3 times a week and I'm still able to convert, right? And so those 4 E's is educate, encourage, entertain, and enroll, right? So one more time, educate, entertain, encourage, and enroll. And so what do I mean by that? You want to put out educational content that's going to attract your dream clients. Now, of course, everybody talks about putting out educational content. There's nothing new about that, right? But what they don't tell you, what the gurus don't tell you is you're putting out educational content now, but you're noticing that that particular content is getting you the least amount of views. That particular content is getting the least amount of engagement. Why? Because you're not teaching the thing that makes people want to buy from you. Right. And now that becomes a whole shift. So when you're putting out your educational content, you want to focus on a thing on what would get people to buy from you, not just any old thing. Sure, you can teach everything, but what is the one thing that you can teach that would actually get you sales? I have a client, or former client rather, her name is Christina. She's a career coach, and she helps men and women land their dream jobs working from home, making 6 figures or more. And when we first started working together, she had 3 things that she could teach. She could teach resumes, interviews, and negotiations. And guess which one of the 3 that she taught on social media that always made her go viral and always got her sales? Some of you are probably tempted to write interviews and negotiations, but actually it was resumes. Whenever she talked about resumes, that thing took her content off. So what do? We doubled down on that, and she was able to get 300 new email subscribers, 10 sales from one video. She was booked up for 2 months with discovery calls. She was so booked up, I couldn't even get my mama on the call, right? So the goal isn't to teach just anything. It's to teach the one thing that people actually want to buy from you. And then we have entertain and encouraging. Like some of you are probably like, especially if you're a Christian, you're probably great at encouraging. Most of your content is probably inspirational. That's nice, right? But if you do not do this 4th E, you're not going to convert, which is enroll. You got to be able to enroll your audience into your offer. So what are you selling? Whether you're selling a coaching program, a membership, you're consulting, or you're selling a product, you're selling a book, you're selling perfume. You got to be able to tell your audience, okay, after I finish educating you, after I finish entertaining and encouraging you, the next thing is to let you know how you can work with me. When you use that 4E strategy, you are all good and all set to go.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like on the internet, you don't have to be the loudest, you just have to be the clearest. And so when your posts are intentional and they're getting in front of your ideal person, then you can make the sale. So you don't have to do, I know a lot of the gurus. In fact, I went to an event today, and one of the advice that they were giving all the content creators is go 30 days straight and just post and just post. But not everybody has the capacity to just post every day or post multiple times a day. You got to go with what you have the capacity to do, but you also want to make sure your posts are intentional. Do you hear it? y'all gonna have to excuse Mother Nature on tonight, okay? There's no hiding.
Before I wasn't hearing it, but then all of a sudden it just decided to make a debut.
Yeah, but that's pretty much what I would say to that is the quality is what matters, not quantity. Because let's say you're out there and you're posting 3 or 4 times a day, and if your posts aren't speaking to your people or telling your people what to do, then you're just kind of wasting time.
I 100% agree with you. I had a client where she was posting 3 or 4 times a day, and it was on TikTok. So this was specifically for TikTok. It was growing her following, right? But she wasn't getting sales from it. And I was encouraging her. I'm like, girl, you can post less, go live. And from your live videos, actually sell to your audience. Tell them, like, here's how you can buy from me. And it took her a while to adjust, but she finally did adjust. I don't know if she's still posting 3 or 4 times a day, but she did tell me from joining my program that she was able to hit 20K months and that was with my monthly membership. She was able to hit 20K months. Now, let me tell you, because some of y'all are like, how is Star clients getting these high results? These are not beginner people that I work with. Okay. Like there's people, they had businesses before. She hit 6 figures in her business before, but she was starting a new business. And now she wants to know how she can bring it online. And so that's what I was helping her with. So she already had like the business mentality. She already had the momentum, but she was a little discouraged because even though she had hit 6 figures the first time in her business, she wasn't convinced she could do it again. And I had to help her break that off her mind. When she broke that off her mind, sis hit 20K, and she's at this point in her second business, she's doing MRR. So that's 20K months with MRR.
Wow. So I just want to add to the live aspect. In this season of my life, I'm liking live more than I like posted content. I feel like live, you get to build that real connection. People can ask you questions in real time. You can have the conversation in real time. So I would recommend to anybody watching us, if you can add live stream into your strategy with marketing, definitely do it. Like, especially you get on there and you're calling out who your person is and you're talking to them and you're interacting with them. They can ask you questions. You can pitch live. There's nothing like a live pitch. It's one thing to give a call to action on your video, right? But on your live, you can pitch and then you can answer questions as well. So just wanted to add that.
Oh, so good. Actually, I want to call out what Prophetic Princess wrote, and then I want to double down on that live strategy because I love lives too. So Prophetic Princess wrote, right, because I had to take 2 breaks this month. I felt like I was going to lose it if I didn't. Okay, that's real. That's real. So I really love that you talked about live videos. To your point, I want to actually bring up Myron Golden because clearly I love bringing him up, but he teaches the 4 levels of value, right? Which means like, you can operate on each one of these levels, and each one is going to make you money. But how much money you want to make depends on which level you're operating on, right? And so I don't remember all the 4 levels, but I do remember the lowest level is implementation. So those are people who are working with their hands, like they're doing all the work themselves, right? So think about janitors, think about cleaners, like those people, right? They make the least amount of money. And then he goes to another level. This is probably level 3 now, where it's communication. Communication is the second to last level, and these people make millions of dollars, right? Then he starts to give examples. He's like, oh, those are the Oprah Winfrey's, the Tyra Banks, like the people who are on TV, like the Russell Brunsons, the Myron Goldens, right? Communication. Then he has like another higher level that I won't talk about now, but I want to stick to the communication part. I really believed him when I first started working with him. I really believed him when he said, if you become a great communicator, you can get paid a lot of money. And your live videos can help you to get paid a lot of money because you're learning how to communicate with your audience. You're testing your messaging to see what resonates in real time. So some of you where you're dropping into ChatGPT, what is my dream client saying, right? You can say that, and then you need to test it through your live videos because they're actually watching. Like how many people are tuning in, how many people are commenting. That will let you know if your messaging is landing with your audience. Last year, I wasn't doing live videos. I had cut it out of my strategy. We still was able to convert, but I had shifted my messaging and I had no way to test it. The only thing I was doing was talking to people individually, but putting out the content, I wasn't sure if it was working or not. It wasn't until I started going live again 3 times a week that I was actually able to see, oh, wait, this is landing. And now I feel so clear with my messaging. You can't tell me nothing.
Love that. Love that. Love that. I don't think I'll have anything else to add to that though, but I really believe in the power of live stream. You can build that authentic connection with your people. They can ask you questions. And then there's people in and out the room. So you just never know who you may encounter. And somebody at TikTok told me this. They was just like, you need to start treating your lives like this is your own talk show or your own type of show where, you know what I mean, like you own the room, you show up like this celebrity and you give people the wisdom and the knowledge that they need. And so even a lot of these platforms are starting to push live stream because they know people literally, there are certain people that literally like to binge watch live content. Not there's some, you have people that binge watch videos, but then there's an audience of people that just likes watching live stream. That was probably noticed during the pandemic when everybody was home and you had 50 million people going live. So I would say develop a live strategy and work it.
Yeah, that's so good. I almost bust out in the song like work it. Then okay, I'm not gonna do it. But that's such a good point though, right? If TikTok is saying like, treat your live streams like they are talk shows, there's a reason for that. And let me tell you, because TikTok be setting trends, right? Like when TikTok came out with TikTok and their videos, that's when everybody else started jumping on and pushing video through their social media platform. Prior to TikTok, Instagram was just pushing like their photos. YouTube already had the long form content, but they did not have short form content. LinkedIn had just photos and text, but they did not have videos. When TikTok came out, it gave everyone a run for their money, and now everyone's like, oh, we want to be just as hot, so let's do video content. Now let's think about it. Snapchat was doing video content, but that didn't really take off. Except for their stories piece that took off, but Instagram stole it. So if TikTok is now telling you that lives is the thing that they're pushing, guess who else is going to start pushing it soon? Especially if, okay, so here's the psychology behind it. Every platform wants to keep people on the platform longer, right? TikTok is recognizing if people are watching 1 hour long videos, and they're live videos, then that means more people are going to stay on the platform. So we're going to reward you. So you're already getting insider knowledge to go ahead and do those TikTok lives, because as soon as it takes off on TikTok, Instagram is going to start pushing their lives. YouTube will start pushing their lives. LinkedIn will start pushing their lives, right? Now, here's the thing, because y'all know I worked in television, right? In television, I worked at A+E Networks. We used to be very big on live shows. So I don't know if any of you ever remember Live PD. Have you ever heard of Live PD? No, that's okay, right? So, but Live PD was super big between 2016. no, wait, I was there 20, yeah, I was in 26. So about 2016, 2017, all the way till about 2019, and it got shut off, right? But around that time, they were pushing live content, and Live PD was a show where, oh yeah, Keish said, yes, I remember it. It was a show where they were in different neighborhoods and they will follow the police as they're making arrests, they're walking with whatever, right? And they did that for 3 hours, 2 nights a row. Fridays and Saturdays. You used to love that show, Keish? Oh my goodness. I used to work on Live PD. So I used to do the live replays that aired on Fridays and Saturdays. So they had the 3 hour live show that they would put out. It blew up so much, so much. And because of that, a lot of other people started doing live content. Right after that, they launched like a ambulance live show. It did okay. But then people started doing like live dating. Like they started testing different live series to see how it's going to resonate with their audience. So I'm telling you right now, what is this? June 17th at 6:24 p.m. This is prophetic. You want to hop on the live train now before it takes off without you, because every time one of the platforms pushes a feature, that thing takes off, and then, people blow up.
Yep. That's a gem we just dropped. Add live stream to your content strategy. I would even recommend too, like the people that experience burnout or whatever, to avoid that, don't worry about posting content. Just do the lives. That's exactly where my focus is in this season. I'm just going to show up and do lives. If I feel like doing a video every now and then, maybe I'll throw it out there. But my strategy is, let's just go live. Let's talk to my audience and let's convert them.
And that's a good strategy. And then and like you said, for those of you who are experiencing burnout, when you go live, what I've been doing is I go live on all my platforms. So a lot of you can't see, but we're on StreamYard right now. StreamYard allows you to stream to LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram all at the same time, depending on what plan you have, right? So I go live through this, and then it shoots it horizontal or vertical, but for the most part, horizontal. You could download your live videos and you could chop that up and let that be your content, right? So for those of you who are like, I still want to put out short form, you can. You just don't have to shoot it individually anymore. You can just get your live videos and then pull out the best parts and post that on YouTube Shorts, post that on TikTok, link wherever it is that you want to post it. And then you can, what I love about YouTube, that they have a feature where you can post your YouTube short and then link it to a long form video. So now people are watching the short, and if they love it, they could click the link to watch the long form video. Like, to me, that's genius.
Yeah, I'm very big on repurposing the things that you already have. In fact, this is something I used to tell my clients all the time is like, you do a long form that's for YouTube. Let's extract that audio and let's create you a podcast. Let's say clips. If you said something real good, let's turn that into a graphic. And you can use our bestie chat to help you with those things. I literally have taken transcriptions from like lives and stuff that I did, and I'll ask ChatGPT to help me pull some other content ideas out of it, or give me a description for my YouTube videos, or give me some thumbnail ideas based on what we talked about. So there's a lot you can do with that. A lot of times people just use ChatGPT on the very generic level, but you can go in there and you can just say, I want to turn this into other pieces of content, especially if it's a piece of content that has worked and you're getting, results on it. You can ask ChatGPT to help you say that 5 to 7 different ways. I've done that on videos that go viral. I'm like, this went viral. Here's what I said. How can we say this 5 more times in a different way?
Girl, that was a whole masterclass. There's a whole masterclass on repurposing your content. And the thing what makes that so big, so important is that if you have a busy schedule, because most of my clients, they have a very busy schedule that they don't have time to create content. So using that strategy allows you to actually create the content faster so that you can monetize faster, right? As opposed to, especially for those of you who are like camera shy and you don't want to have to keep putting up your phone to shoot the short form content. It's nice to have the short form. For like I did that for a good 4 years, and it really helped me to grow my business. But that long form is really where it's at, especially for the particular audience who really love watching. Like I shared a tip with my clients in my challenge that there's a particular group of people who are accustomed to watching 1 hour videos or 1 hour messages, right? And I'm just going to drop the tip here, but it's Christians, because they already are accustomed to listening to their pastor speak for an hour. Like, and literally I learned that from Myron. He said the same thing. That's why he went to YouTube and he was able to thrive on YouTube, because one, he used to be a pastor, but people, when you are in church, you're listening to your pastor for like over an hour talking, especially if in a black church, might be 3 hours. So now you go to, okay. So now you go to YouTube and it becomes the same natural thing. And then also, I'm not going to leave it just to the Christian, but also the podcast audience, those who grew up on radio shows. So like now we're getting the older generation, but people who love podcasts, they will sit there and listen to something for over an hour, right? So now you're tapping into a certain type of generation that's going to help you to be able to not help you. Well, yeah, it will help you. It will help you to monetize. That's what I want to say. It was going to help you to monetize because they're the ones who are actually sitting there and watching. And for those of you who are thinking to yourselves, I don't know who's going to want to sit here for an hour to watch. I promise you they will. I see the analytics. People are watching the videos for an hour or so. Me and Renaya, I don't know where that came from. Me and Kwanda, we have it's because your name is Renee. Me and Kwanda, we have a live that went viral for us on YouTube. It has like nearly 10,000 views, probably more now. And people sat there and they watched it. I can tell because they're leaving comments at like 38 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. And I'm like, wow, they really out here watching it. So there are people out here who want to watch you for longer than 3 seconds, longer than 7 seconds.
Yeah, in fact, YouTube is my platform of choice when it comes to long form. I don't necessarily go on the other platforms to watch something long form. I come over here. And to add to your point about the older audience, there's been some recent studies. Now, I don't quote me because I don't have the exact numbers, but like baby boomers are really here on the YouTube. So if you're somebody in your audience are baby boomers, you got to come over here on YouTube. I did not know the thing about Christians, what you said. It makes sense though, because we do be in church for a while. Back in the day when I was growing up, we would be in church for hours and hours and hours and hours. So that just says that Christians have the stamina to sit and watch. And so does a podcast audience. So that's good. And then you can also listen and move around, right? With a short form, after those 2 minutes is up, it's going to replay again. It's going to replay again. Whereas if I'm listening to something 30 minutes or an hour, I'm walking around my house, I'm working out, I'm doing all these things. I can leave my device or my phone and get the wisdom and get the knowledge.
Yeah, I love that you shared that. I have a friend where she released an audio series. It's a masterclass audio series because she knew that her clients are so busy that instead of them having to sit and watch a video, they can just listen to it. And I'm like, girl, that's genius. And so really the tips that we're sharing right now, this only going to work for you if you know who your dream client is. If you do not know who your dream client is, you're not able to leverage social media in a way in order to get them to convert. Because the goal isn't to post just to post, like I said earlier. The goal is to post with a purpose, and that purpose is profits, right? So how can you create profits by using your content? Now, here's the thing: a lot of you who are watching us, you're business owners just like us. So our goal is to convert our followers into customers. That's your number one goal when you're on social media. Yes, it's nice to have the views. It's nice to have the engagement, right? But building a loyal and engaged community doesn't mean you're always going to get paid. But building a loyal and buying community does, right? And I think Kwanda, you must have shared this. If it wasn't earlier today, I think it was yesterday. You were talking about how there are influencers who have millions of followers and cannot convert not one of them. Why? Because they have a loyal and engaged audience, not loyal and buying.
Yeah, there was this influencer. I don't know, she went viral during the pandemic, but she had millions of followers. And then she presented a t-shirt that she wanted to offer as merch. She didn't get, I think if she didn't get one sale, she may have got one. And out of them, she didn't get any.
Got no sales.
Yeah, and it's because she cultivated an audience that probably just wanted to look at her content, nothing more. So with these social media platforms, you have to connect and convert. That's going to be our 2 C's: connect and convert. And then you have to make a decision too, like, because some people, if you don't want to make money online, then you just post content. But for those of us that are in business, it's very important that you do what you need to do to convert. You and I were kind of having the conversation a little bit earlier about sometimes with content creators. A lot of times content creators, they don't know business, right? And so they'll accept little deals that they get from these brands, or they'll start posting for brands for free and not getting paid off of that. Absolutely not. With me, if you want me to promote your product, you better have a check. Okay, I'm not doing it for free. My influence, I need to get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? You're bringing people. There are people that if some people, you have influence, if you say buy other people will buy. I remember I went viral about 2 years ago for this Bible that I found. And I love the Bible. It had my name written in it. And I posted it on TikTok, super, super viral. Everybody, how you buy it? How you buy it? How you buy it? Then I had to go back and tell these people I'm no longer promoting this Bible because they took Jesus' name out and put my name. And I was just like, oh no. So I had to recant. And I still had to this day people asking me about that Bible, even though the video I had to take it down and did a statement. That was me getting something and being excited about it and not checking it out. This is a whole nother story. And I got stories for days and not checking it out. But I went like but I realized my superpower was that I have influence. And there are a certain amount of people, if they hear me talking about a product or using a product, they're going to buy it. And so you have to be responsible with your influence. And then you got to connect and convert. And so a lot of content creators, you got to start looking at yourself as a business and not just, I'm just posting content just to post content. And I'm going to land my plane right there.
No, you're not, girl. You better pick this plane back up because now we need to know. They took Jesus' name out the Bible.
Yeah, so I had ordered this personalized Bible. I thought it was so cool. I was like, my name gets to be in the scriptures because how they advertise it is just like your name is just going to be in like, some Proverbs. And then we get to the New Testament. And you know how Jesus speaks in the red. It was saying Quanda Renee said, the devil is a liar. Yeah, so what I was going to do was I was just going to delete the video, keep it moving. My spiritual mother was like, you have a responsibility. You need to make a video. You need to do that. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. But yeah, that was a couple of years ago. People still ask me about that Bible. I don't know how they're seeing it. But I don't respond. But yeah, like that's when I knew I had influence because everybody was going. I know there were people that bought it, but everybody was wanting to buy that. Y'all, I'm sorry. That was my past life. Okay. I got to do a little bit more research.
Clarifying question. So you mean to tell me, that when it gets to Matthew 5, right? When Jesus was giving the Sermon on the Mount, it really was Quanda giving the Sermon on the Mount.
It was hello there. But it was advertised as just my name was just going to flow in like some of the Proverbs, which I thought was cool until I got to the nitty gritty. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I had to, that blood was not going to be on my hands. Okay. And Lord, I didn't do my research. But the point in that too is, even though I wasn't working with a brand, the point in that too is when you're doing these brand deals, you got to understand what they expect of you, right? What you're giving them and what they're getting, because a lot of times too, once you give them that video, they can run ads on it and continue to make money and money and money. And you're just paid that little $200 if you don't set the tone and say, for my influence, you're gonna pay me $3,000-$5,000. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a little tidbit for the content creators. You guys have to start thinking from a business standpoint, not thinking from, oh, I'm just getting followers and I'm just glad that a brand can send me an email. They send an email to everybody. All of us are getting emails from somebody.
I just have 2 points to make. And the first point is, girl, can I read that Bible? And number 2, no, I'm kidding. I'm so stuck on that. That was totally a test. That was a test. God was like, let me see what my daughter gonna do. Because you could have just kept like, okay, and you could have kept keeping those brand deals because people were buying and people were getting their names in the Bible too. And they were also seeing that and they probably thought it was cool too. But I'm so happy you retracted that because that is wild and crazy. Why would anyone go, oh, Satan? Yeah, Satan would totally come up with something like that. And then people think, oh, because we get to read the Bible. Not if you telling people that you so love the world, you gave your only begotten. That don't make no sense.
One day get nothing for this world, okay?
Okay. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was dangerous, and it went super viral, super quick. I should have known something in there. It like exploded super quick, super quick.
That was sad. He was like, "We're gonna bring you in."
I had a responsibility, though. I had a responsibility.
I love that. Zia Life said, "How much would it cost for you to go through with the Bible, with a Bible name switch? How much would it cost?"
I don't want to get in trouble with the Lord, so I don't know how much.
That part, like not trying to get in trouble with the Lord at all. I love that. You brought up a really good point about working with brands, and I'm just gonna touch on it a little bit because the same thing happens to me. Like there was this one brand that reached out to me and asked like if I could do content for them, and they wanted to have the content rights. And so I told them, I probably told them like $1,700, right? Like $1,000 just for the content rights. Typically I would go higher, but I just said, let me just land the plane right there. And they were like, oh yeah, that's outside of our budget. We only got 700. You're going to pay me $700 and you want the content rights? Honey, no. That sounds bizarre to me. And I mean, I don't tell them this, but I think to myself, like, I'm a TV producer. These hands has touched shows that people watch all around the world. And you want me to give you rights to content that I create for $700? No, absolutely not. It's like you really got to know your worth because they will try to underpay you
Yeah.
because in their mind it's like, oh well, you don't got a lot of people watching you anyway, you don't got a lot of people engaging anyway, and we just want to be able to get our stuff out there. But like Kwanda said, that thing goes super viral. People can make so much money off of you. I have a former client, she's a health coach, and she was able to grow her following on Instagram to 106,000 followers, right? And she ended up working with this juicing company where they sell juicers, and they made so much money off of her. They gave her a juicer. They paid her as well. They paid her each month, which was good. But they made whatever they were paying her, they made probably triple or quadruple just from her creating her content with this juicer, people clicking the link in her bio and buying it. And that juicer was not, it was not $14. That juicer was like $700. So people that already let us know that her audience was accustomed to buying high ticket, and they were accustomed to buying that because she was the one who was talking about it. So some of y'all out here going for brand deals, you better ask what you're worth, because I'm telling you right now, if you have a high ticket buying audience, that brand will make money off of you, and you would have been underselling. Okay, you want to move on to something else, or you want to add something to that?
I was just gonna say, and they'll continue to make money because a lot of them just do the ads, and you'll see ads and ads and ads and ads, and they're making millions of dollars. Meanwhile, they just paid you $500.
That part. I had someone reach out to me and was like, "Yeah, we want to run ads. So we'll just give you 500." I was like, "No, you're not." They don't know who they're talking to. That's the thing. And I don't tell them. That's okay. One of my friends was like, they don't care. And I'm like, I know they don't care. Neither do I. I make more money converting my followers into customers than I do from brand deals. So I will not ever sacrifice my time to do a brand deal that's going to underpay me. That's so wild. Right? Okay. All right. Let's talk about how you can use AI to like plan, write, and repurpose your content. I know you brought up some tips on how chat can repurpose your content, but what about like planning and writing your content?
You can use chat for that as well. You can just ask chat to help you. Well, depending on you, some people you could use chat to script your videos, right? You could get chat to write your descriptions or write your captions. Tell it to write it, in your voice, or tell it to write it in a way that your person is going to buy. So there's a lot of different things you can do with that. And then repurposing, we kind of talked about that a little bit already. You can take your transcripts and ask it to give you content ideas from that. You can take your long form and chop it up and do those little clips. You can use Opius. There's a lot of those. Riverside. There's so many different AI companies or tools that you can use to chop up your content. I think repurpose.io is another one. They were a partner. Well, they were trying to be a partner of mine through YouTube, but they are another one where you could take your long form and it does all these other things. And I think they even can hook up to Zapier and do all these other things. So there's a lot. You just have to figure out which one you want to invest in and which one is going to work for you. But there's a lot. On the basic level, you could do Claude, you can do Chat GPT and ask it, to help you to write content. Think about some of your best videos, and then just rework those videos. Write this for me 5 different ways. I want to say the same thing, but I want to say it 5 different ways. You can do different things like that.
I love that you brought that up. And I love that you called out like different types of AI, because ChatGPT is not the only one. It's the most popular one, but it's not the only one. Like I have a business mentor. She uses Sentra. I don't know. Have you ever used Sentra before?
I've never used Sentra.
Yeah, I mean, I've never used it, but she uses it. And sometimes the writing is a little bit better than Chat. I've used Claude, and I used to really like Claude last year, but then I feel like Chat just kind of like took it off and to the next level. But
Have you ever used Perplexity?
no, somebody I had a client who used it and it was really good. Like I like the way that it was able to format her content for her.
Yeah, that was another good one.
Yeah, so that's awesome. So I want to show you how I use it. Actually, this is a tip that Quanda gave me. So if y'all want $1 million tip, this is it right here. Take some notes. Right? So Quanda told me, because I have a podcast, and she said, for your podcast, what you should do is ask ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you're using. Ask it what are the top 20 questions that your dream client has, and then take each question and turn it into a podcast episode. So I did that, and I got my 20 questions, and I was like, this is good. This is really good. And I can tell that it was accurate because this is the content that I create already. But the way that chat asks it allows me to just create podcast episodes from there. And so now I'm just going to be releasing 20 pieces of podcast episodes, all because I have this is how they ask the question. So now I get to answer it. What makes this better, right? Because it's not just about having the content. You now want the content to show up, is that it's keyword friendly. This is what they're asking. This is what they're typing into the search engine. So when I name the podcast this title and they type it into the search engine, my podcast is going to pop up, right? So when you're using chat or any type of AI tool, the goal isn't just to have it create content just to create content. Again, you want content and you want conversions. But in order for you to get conversions, you got to be seen. If nobody's seeing you, you ain't getting paid. And that's something that I teach all of my clients, right? When people see me, they pay me. That is a real belief. I tell everyone, get it into your bones, get it into your system. When people see me, they pay me. So now when I'm putting out this content, more people will be able to see me, which means I'm going to get paid more. So that's another way that you can use your AI to create content and to plan your content for you. And then I'll share this one. Now, this type of content may not go on social media, maybe not until later, but, and I think you do this too, Quanda. One thing I do is when I'm done having meetings with my potential clients. So these aren't even clients yet. So these are potential clients. I record every meeting. I take that transcript and I drop it into ChatGPT and I ask ChatGPT to pull out the pain points, pull out the desires, pull out their fears, and one more piece, pull out potential objections as to why they wouldn't buy. Right. So now I have all. Thank you. Now every time you do that, I think about our last episode. So now I have all four of those things, and it helps me to create a pitch that is specific to them, right? But not only that, because this is my dream client who's speaking to me, I can also use that as content to post on social media, right? So again, the goal is to convert, but the only way you're going to be able to convert, the only way any of this is going to work for you is if you know who your dream client is. If you do not know who your dream client is, right now you're giving prompts to ChatGPT and to you. It looks like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good content. You put out the content and your TikTok says otherwise. Your Instagram says otherwise. Your YouTube says otherwise. And you're wondering why is it not converting? And it's because you're not speaking to your dream client.
Yeah, I also ask chat, after you put the transcripts, like what are they typing in Google? Right? What are they looking for are they on Pinterest? What would they be looking for on Pinterest? Because and the reason why I keep talking about Pinterest, I think we talked about it a little bit the last couple of times, is because Pinterest is not social media, it's a search engine, but like 80%, 86%, maybe a little bit more of people over there they buy, they go on there with the intent to buy. Same with the intent. When people go on Google, they're searching for something. They come on YouTube, they're searching for something. So the intent on these type of platforms is different than the TikToks, the Instagrams of the world too. And just knowing where your person is and what they're, thinking. And a lot of times too, and this is what I can learn this from myself, is that sometimes people that make that are like 6-figure or higher earners, they watch quietly, not saying anything. So you got to know those things about your person as well. Me, sometimes I'll sit in a live. This is how me and Star connected. I was just in her live, minding my own business, not commenting, not saying anything, just listening to what she was talking about. And the next thing you know, she inboxed me and I'm like, how did she know I was on her live? I didn't know that they give you that much detail about somebody just watching on TikTok.
TikTok is next level. That's why when the US was threatening to get rid of it, I was like, they ain't going nowhere. Because they really do help businesses. And like as much as Instagram want to be like that, I doubt they can because they're more focused on other things. But like TikTok is specifically focused on helping business owners to thrive on there. So they do give you a lot of information about your dream client. And I'm so happy that you had shared that with me because I use the same strategy on LinkedIn. When I go live, I also message the people afterwards, right? And I told my LinkedIn coach that when I go live, I'm able to get 1 to 2 leads per live. And she looked at my page and she was like, you don't even get an engagement over here. And I didn't tell her this, but I'm telling all of you now. It's because a lot of my people are lurkers. They're not going to engage. They're going to watch and they're going to DM, or they're going to watch and I'm going to DM. So knowing the behavior of your dream clients is super important. If you don't know their behavior and if you don't know their buying behavior, you're going to find yourself stuck in a pattern wondering why they aren't buying. So I'm going to give one more example. Working with my client, I write her emails for her, right? And there's one email that we are sending out in the evening that I want to text. And one thing that I asked chat, I said, we're sending this email in the evening. What is it that her dream clients are doing around this time? And chat gave me a list of things that the dream clients could be doing. I said, great, turn this into a subject line for emails. And it gave me a whole bunch of subject lines that spoke specifically to that dream client. One of the subject lines was like, now that you finish washing the dishes, you might want to read this. And I'm like, see, that's what I'm talking about. Like those types of things. Because when they go into their email, they're going to see that and be like, how did you know I just finished washing the dishes? Because we're studying the behavior of our dream clients. If you don't understand their buying behavior, it's going to be really hard for you to convert.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I have nothing else to add.
Okay. Just Kelly says, LinkedIn users won't engage. That's where I am. And it's a gold mine. See? Kelly
Yeah.
said, it is a gold mine.
And then some people too, if you're at work, you low key listening. So there might be some people who are at work and they just got something playing in the background, or you know what I'm saying, or they got you kind of down low while their boss is around. So there's a whole bunch of reasons why people do that. I just lurk because a lot of times I'm just doing my makeup, doing my hair, getting ready for my live, or you know what I'm saying, or I just don't feel like commenting. I'm tired. I didn't talk all day. I don't feel like tapping this screen. I just came in here just to hear what you got to say. So, yep.
Girl, that's so true. I'm the opposite. I will be in your lives typing up a storm. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm gonna stop what I'm doing just so I can type. I will carry an entire live by myself just commenting. I had to calm down though, because I really do like to listen to the lives while I am working. So I'm a little similar to you in that sense, where if I can't type, then I'm just gonna listen. Okay, so let's talk about the missing link between visibility and actual income, right? So let's talk about people who are they are getting the views, they are getting some engagement, but they're not necessarily getting the actual income. Do you want to kick it off first, or do you want me to start? I done muted myself like, yeah, Quanta will start.
Sorry, it's thundering. Go ahead.
It is fine. It's fine. Okay, so let's talk about one of my clients. Her name is Kelly. She's phenomenal. She is an ADHD parenting coach. So she helps parents who have children who have ADHD. She helps them to reduce the meltdowns that they have. Now, when she posts on Instagram, she has probably like over 30,000 followers. So she can get leads galore. Her issue is not leads. She gets views, she gets engagement, all the things. What she was struggling with was, how do I get them to buy, right? If your strategy is telling people to head to the link in your bio, that is the issue on why they're not buying. Why? Because that is too many steps. They're watching a video and then you're telling them, head to the link in my bio and click that. If you are like any other normal business owner who has multiple links in their bio, they're getting lost. Let's say you have one link in the bio, but now they get to your sales page, they're getting lost, right? So you're recognizing your clicks in your link is going up, but the checkout isn't going up. Why? Because they're getting lost just reading all the text on the page, right? So you want to give them a simple call to action for them to buy. Now, before you give them the simple call to action, you need to qualify your audience. Just because you have followers don't mean they're going to buy from you, okay? Jesus had so many followers and not all of them became believers. So we have to understand that there are people who are going to follow you and they're not going to buy right now or ever. But you want to call out the people who are ready to buy. And that's what we do by qualifying our audience. So who are your dream clients? When you're posting your videos, when you're in your live videos, when you're writing your captions, actually call out who this offer is for. Whenever I'm talking about the Convert Content to Cash Challenge, I say, if you are business owners where you already hit 6 figures, you already have an audience on social media, but you're not sure how to convert them into customers, then this challenge is for you. You want to have a simple line just like that. It rolls off my tongue because I practice it every single day. Okay. Right. So you want to have a simple line just like that. You can have 3 of them. I like to qualify 3 times so that people can opt in. They can go, oh, that's me. That's what I need. That qualification piece made all the difference for me in my content, because people started coming to me and going, I didn't know I was your dream client. I was posting all the months and they had no idea that they were my dream client until I started saying what I was saying, right? So back to Kelly. So I told Kelly, qualify your audience. And then I gave her a strategy for her to actually reach her audience. One simple call to action so that they can opt in. And guess what? After she did that, she got 6 clients in 1 month. That's how fast it is to convert on social media. When you are clear in your messaging, you know how to reach your audience, you qualify them, and then you tell them what to do. A clear, simple step on what to do. 6 clients in 1 month. And at that time, I think she hadn't really converted that much on social media. We also raised her price, by the way. So there were 6 clients at $997. She made about $6,000 in that 1 month just from doing that strategy.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I just want to add to that. And I think I said this in one of our other lives. You have to definitely be specific with this whole link in bio, because I remember I was always sending people to my link in bio and not realizing Lemonade was the first thing you click. And I'm like, wondering, how did I get 15,000 followers on Lemonade? I've never posted over there. It's because that link was the first thing people saw. So I'm telling people, go to the link in my bio, and they're clicking that, because what you have to understand with the online world, I'm trying to say this as nice as possible, people don't know what to do. You have to tell people what to do, and you have to make it as simple as possible. And that's kind of why I like what TikTok is doing right now with that little orange button, because that orange button sends you a DM, and then you can keep the conversation going. You can ask them for their phone number or their email. Whereas if you're telling them to go click the link in my bio, they're kind of leaving off of your live to try to figure it out. So it's a lot, and things move so fast, and people get distracted very, very easily. So I made that mistake. Don't make the mistake. And then one day I just randomly looked over there, and I was just like, why is Lemonade at the top? But that's how they had it, right? Because I wasn't checking that. I'm just telling you to go to my link in my bio. One day I checked it, and it's because how their platform is set up, they had Lemonade as the top thing. And I think that was around the time when they were saying that TikTok was about to be dismantled, for lack of better words.
That is hilarious. You totally grew your following over there. Never post one piece of content. So now you got people over there like, where Quanda at? She told me head to the first link in my bio.
And the thing is, like, I never really investigated the platform, so I'm not even sure how you monetize over there. I don't remember that you can post a link over there. I just see people posting and kind of treating it like a Pinterest, but at least Pinterest will link to the site. I don't see that over there, so I'm not sure what will be my role if I ever go over there.
I've never used Lemonade, so I couldn't even answer that question if I wanted to. I've gone to Lemonade just when I'm prospecting and I'm able to see like other people's Lemonade, but I didn't see the point in it. Honestly, I was like, what is the point of this? But like you said, that was TikTok's backup plan that they don't even need anymore. Is it even still popping? Is anyone on here on Lemonade? Is it still popping? Because I heard so many people leaving to go there, and who knows?
And I don't even think like it's video content. I think it was all like it reminds me of just carousels. That's what I remember last time I was on there. So it's definitely not something that I would want to do for me personally.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of scrolling through carousels. Like if it's pictures, yes. And I'm a big reader, but when I'm on social media, just give me the video, right? Oh, just Kelly says, I'm still out the loop. I never heard of Lemonade. Oh, it's not even Lemonade, it's Lemonade. Girl, you don't
stay on LinkedIn, baby.
LinkedIn. You do not need Lemonade. Okay, let's talk about how to use different features on social media in order for you to be able to convert. Could be, we talked about lives already. Like that was a whole section on lives, but using carousel, stories, reels, TikTok, short form, long form, podcast. Do you want to share any tips?
Back in the day, I haven't done this in a long time, but I used to make a lot of money storytelling in the stories, showing people behind the scenes, showing people if I just created a new product or something like that, showing them, the evolving. I remember when I used to sell jewelry years and years ago, I would draw on a piece of paper the bracelet that I made, and then show like it actually being made, and that people were interested, and that helped me get, conversions and things like that. So if you're going to use stories, and this is something that I test with one of my clients as well, if you're going to use stories, use that to story tell. It's not the same content. Like, so a lot of people will tell you, oh, just put your reels in the story. No, 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 no. That's not going to help you. You need to do your behind the scenes, the one where you ain't got no makeup on and you're just saying, get ready to start my day. Or, you're working out, you're at the gym, those type of things. For some reason, people like that. And I think that's why there are some Snapchat influencers that are doing very well, because they will story. It was one guy, I heard him say he did like 200 or 400 stories a day. And I couldn't even imagine. But obviously, there are people that like to consume that information. I also think that on these different platforms, you have people that like watching lives, and you have people that watch the reels, or the videos, and then you have people that just binge watch stories. And so you just want to show up for that particular audience. But I really like stories. I used to make a lot of money on stories. And then sometimes if you have a faceless brand, right? So on the page of the faceless brand, no selling, right? But on the stories, that's where you sell. So I've done things like that as well. So I would recommend stories. I would recommend, stories, incorporating some of that into your marketing strategy.
That's genius. Ooh, that faceless brand tip, that was good. No selling on the actual page, but sell in your stories. And I can understand the psychology too, because with faceless brands, it takes 2 times as long to build trust than if you actually have a face. So if you're just building trust, and then now you build so much trust, your audience who watches your stories are the people who are more loyal. So they're more likely to buy. Girl, who got a
Yeah.
faceless brand in here? Because that was a gem.
I used to be a faceless brand. I need to work started out as a faceless brand. So that's why I know about it, because back then there was no name for it. It was just we know somebody's posting it. We just don't know who this is attached to. Faceless brands are very popular in this day and age, but it's just about speaking to your person. Like, all of your content has to speak to your person, and then you have to decide what it is that you want to offer, what it is that you want to sell. And it's kind of proof that the whole people buy from people they like, know, and trust is not 100%, because with a faceless brand, you don't know these people. You don't necessarily have to like them. So that's important as well. But I'll share one story. So I had went with my spiritual mother to Memphis one time. And so I had the bright idea. I'm like, well, let's document you going to Memphis because you're going to preach, right? And so I talked her into, you walking out of the hotel and getting into the car. I'm going to snap that. You walking into the church, I'm going to snap that. You behind the scenes praying with that pastor or that bishop that invites you there, y'all talking together, do that. And then let's film you while you're in the congregation before you preach it, how you're responding. When we tried that, her story views hit like 10,000. She's never hit that many before, but people were just so engaged. They wanted to see, wow, behind the scenes, this is really how you're navigating through a preaching moment. And I'm glad she went with it, because I was just testing it out to see if it worked, but it really, really worked for her. So now her audience is into stories. Like, that's something that, if they're doing it, they got to keep incorporating it, because people buy into that. I would say too, if you're somebody and you have events, you have conferences, use those stories to show what took place last year, how y'all gearing up, show y'all in meeting with some of these vendors and different people, all of that type of stuff.
Girl, that is so good. I love that. And people love behind the scenes. They love stuff that's like lifestyle content. Like lifestyle content for business owners really started to blow up last year. Like the educational content wasn't performing as much. Like it does help to show you as the expert, but that lifestyle content helps to build that relationship with your audience. And to your point where you were like, you got to build like trust, no like and trust factor, but with faceless brands, it's not like that. And I always say that too. I always tell people like, this is what the gurus are telling you. You got to build know, like, and trust. But there's people who know, like, and trust you who ain't buying. So the reality is they got to feel seen and heard. Your client, your audience has to feel seen and heard so that they can buy. So with the faceless brands, that's what's happening. They're feeling seen and heard, and now they're opting in to buy. So I thought that was really good. And I love that you shared like the story. Now, here's the thing. Some of you are like, I'm posting reels, I'm posting TikToks, and I got to post stories. That's a lot. Actually, you can start off by just choosing 1, just one, right? And then build your way up if you want. For me, I used to do all the things and it was exhausting. And then I shifted to what my audience was actually buying. And for me, it was live video and regular reels and TikToks. So just from the reels and TikToks, creating the content, putting out a sales video a week or lead generation video a week, speaking directly to my dream client, that allowed me to actually bring in the sales. Now, I spoke to one of my friends. Her name on Instagram is Her Content Coach. She teaches like AI. She sells through carousels. So does my other client. She sells through carousels, right? So what is my point? My point is what is the buying behavior of your audience? And use that feature to sell. If the buying behavior is from live videos, use live videos. If the buying behavior is from carousels, then use carousels. If it's from stories, then use stories. You don't have to use it all. You just got to find the thing, like, what are they most likely to buy? Now, all that's probably gonna boil down to, you got to test, pivot, test, pivot. Come on, test, pivot, test, pivot. All right, test those features out and then pivot until you get the profits, because that's the goal.
Yeah, another feature that I haven't done personally, but I've like dabbled in it for other people is the community feature on Instagram, and I think Facebook has it too. And they've converted sales over there, I guess, because, and you have to decide how you want to set it up. So how theirs is set up is you're just communicating with the people. They're not able to respond. They can, I think, like heart and like it and all of that. But, and the only reason why that was done is because it would have been too much if everybody can respond. So doing that, so they'll go in there, they'll drop videos in there that's exclusive for them. They'll drop, like, if they're having events or different things they have going on, and they have been getting conversions from that. So that's another feature. I don't know if Instagram pushes it out like he used to push it out when it first gave the idea. I think they're called, I'm saying community, but I think it's called broadcast channels. Yeah, broadcast channels. So trying that feature as well, if you have an engaged audience and you want to offer them exclusive content or let them to be the first to know about events or different things you have going on, you're going to have to just test what works for you. What may work for me, what may work for Star, may not work for you. And then thinking about your capacity and what you have the capacity to do.
It's so true. Like, I have two former clients, right? One is Christina, one is Christiana. Christina, I taught her the live strategy and the TikTok video strategy. And she didn't care for the live strategy because she didn't want to show up live. So she made her sales through TikTok videos only. And Christiana, I taught her the TikTok video strategy and the live video strategy. And she didn't care for doing the TikTok video strategy. So she made her sales going live. And both of them are successful business owners, right? So it really boils down to your capacity, like Quanda said, your energy and the buying behavior of your audience, because they will show up and they will buy, right? So I didn't even realize that we're like overtime. Did you notice that?
I just looked. It's cool. I mean, I feel like we were throwing a little loophole with this storm coming in and taking my power and all of that. So y'all got an extra little bit of time with us today.
That part. But if you do have any questions, you can feel free to drop it in the chat so that we can answer your questions. And then, as always, this is our series. So we go live Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern. We have different topics from the audience. We've noticed that you all love when we talk about AI, content creation, and monetizing. So those are going to be our three topics until you tell us otherwise. But if you want to see something specifically, you want us to teach something specifically, you can feel free to drop it on the chat, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live, so that we can actually help out. And then I'm going to read a Prophetic Princess comment. She said, right, because there are people who are always liking and commenting on my posts. I mean, for years, and they don't even sign up for my free stuff. I realized that last week, son. That's wild.
But that's just like the mindset of certain type of people. And then Princess is in the Christian world. So
yeah, girl, they accustomed to free. You should probably tell them, like,
but they're not signing up for the free.
Well, you should tell them to tithe. I would just be like, hey, you want to tithe? And let's just see what happens. They may tithe. I'll be like, hey, you could tithe to this lead magnet. It's only $7 for the tithe. Sometimes it's just changing the language. I'm clearly just playing around. I don't even know if that's going to work. But girl, if you did try it, it did work. Let us know.
We're not doing anything $7, Princess. Okay.
No, $7. Absolutely.
Signed your marketing coach.
No, $7. Add some zeros to that. You want to talk about your boot camp?
Yeah, so June 23rd, we are kicking off with the second that's a cohort. however you say that word. My second version of the boot camp is 6 weeks. In 6 weeks, you're going to learn target audience. You're going to learn content. You're going to learn Pinterest. You're going to learn how to build a simple funnel. You're going to learn how to sell and live selling. You're going to learn it all in 6 weeks. If you are somebody and you have not hit the $5,000 a month yet, $6,000 a month yet in your business, I'm literally going to show you how. I just wrapped up last week with my first group of people, and they already have success stories. One of my students, I just found out she was pregnant too. She did not talk the entire time, right? She didn't talk the entire time. And I just couldn't gauge her. I'm like, I don't know if she's getting it, but she showed up every time. She couldn't hit the 1,000 followers on TikTok. She implemented, right? She wasn't talking, but she was implementing. Plus, she was pregnant, 6 months pregnant, trying to navigate through this. She implemented, she hit the 1,000, over 1,000, and she booked her first 2K client. Like, she made back her investment before the 6 weeks was even up. So I'm super proud of her. One of my other students was sitting on 46 podcast episodes, doing nothing with it. Now she has a YouTube. Now she's posting TikToks. She has a rhythm. She's in the process of creating a product for her audience. So super excited that another one of my clients, I'm just gonna brag for one more second. They had a janky website and they were getting traffic there, but nobody was buying. And so I did a little deep dive. This is something that I typically don't do, but I did a little deep dive, and I'm like, you know what the problem is? Your website is janky. You got booty@gmail.com. They didn't have that. I'm just throwing that in there. And nobody is buying. Okay. So we got to work that. I need you to get a professional email, and I need to get this site professionally done. So when people come, the checkout is smooth. So in 6 weeks, I teach you all of that. So if you want to join, we'll drop the link in the comments. Boom, boom. I'll drop the link.
Girl, those in 6 weeks, like those results are amazing. I just think about like in 6 days, God created so much. Okay. And in 6 weeks, your clients got these results. Like if you're in here and you're like, that's what I need. Aquana's about to drop there it goes. It just popped up on the screen. So there goes the link so that you can join her boot camp that's kicking off this summer so that you can be able to get the sales that you desire, especially if you've been trying this for so long and you're not seeing the results that you want. So there you go. You get access to it, right? And I'll just let that breathe a little bit before I talk about the challenge so that people can get access. I know some people are like, oh my goodness, I want those results too. Oh, you didn't tell us who your boot camp is for. You want to tell us who it's for?
Oh, yeah. So it's for somebody who has a product. If you have a product already, it just makes it easier. I did have somebody join before and they didn't have a product, but they also was an implementer. So they were building their product and learning the marketing. So, but I would say it's for action takers, it's for somebody who has a product, and it's for the person that's not afraid to invest. Because when I tell you, I bring the tea, I bring the tea. Plus, if you're a Christian, guess what? I have the Holy Ghost. So that's even a little bit, well, not even a little bit, that's even way more tea, okay? So I come through with the results. I am somebody who has helped Michael Todd, Sarah Jakes, Priscilla Shire, Medina Pullins, and so many other people go viral, get visible. And so I'm just taking what I learned in past seasons and helping you so you can start making money, okay? What is the point of having a product, sitting on that product, and not making no money, and you just wishing and hoping, God, please send me customers? We don't beg. We learn the strategy. We show up and do what we need to do. And I land my plane.
I love that. We don't beg, we sell. Okay. That part. I love it. I love it. Awesome. Okay. So I want to talk about the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. For those of you where you already hit 6 figures in your business, but you want to know, how do I scale my business using social media? You're probably getting sales through word of mouth and referrals, and it's doing good for your business. You may be getting like 5K months. I shouldn't say 5K months. You're probably getting 8K months, 10K months, but you want to know, how do I scale to 20K months and 30K months using social media without having to pay for ads? That's what I teach you in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. I show you how to sell in 5 days or less, and that's on purpose, because I know what it's like to be searching on YouTube, to be following every single guru and piecemealing your content strategy together, and it's not actually working for you. So instead, in the challenge, we just show you exactly what it takes. It's just 5 P's for you to be able to prosper on social media. So on day 1, we show you how to position your brand just like Jesus did, right? When Jesus was going town to town, he didn't go door to door. He positioned himself in each town and he called his people to him so that they can actually listen to him and then be converted. So I show you how to do the same thing on social media. On day 2, I show you how to package your stories in your videos. Why is this important? Because there are some of you right now where you have a wealth of knowledge in here, and it's extremely hard for you to get that information into 1-minute videos, 2-minute videos. So we show you how to do that in the challenge. On day 3, we show you how to produce a 6-figure content strategy. Why 6 figures? Because if you're not making 6 figures on social media, why are you using it? Just why, right? So you might as well. So imagine you're making 6 figures through word of mouth and referrals, and now you have an additional 6 figures coming in just from using social media content, right? So that's why we show you that strategy. Day 4, we show you how to present your offers in your videos without sounding salesy or feeling icky or slimy whenever you are selling to your audience. And then day 5, we show you how to pull all of that together so that you can create predictable 5-figure months. What do I mean by that? 10K months, 20K months, 30K months, 50K months, and beyond. I've had people come into the challenge and they walked in thinking that they're going to sell and only make $300. And then I'm like, what? You can make 50K from social media a month. Why would you want to just sell $300, right? So that's our goal. Our goal is to help you to build wealth in your business, but only if you're ready for it, right? Like the challenge is only for people who are ambitious, you are a high achiever, and you're ready for the next level in your business. Some of you have been called to bigger stages, high profile podcasts. When you're in a challenge, we show you how to create the content that actually gets you seen, because God made you a promise, and that promise is that you're going to be making a bigger impact globally and all over. But in order for that to happen, it starts right here on social media. So we show you how to do that in the Convert Content to Cash Challenge. You can actually just go to the challenge link right here, which is content2cashchallenge.com. Some of you, if you've been on YouTube for some time, you probably heard Omar say he also has a similar challenge. He got it from me. No, he didn't. I'm kidding. We both work with Myron, so we ended up coming out with like the same challenge. But this one is content2cashchallenge.com so that you can get access to the challenge. We have 2 levels, the VIP experience and the diamond experience. If you're one of the first 5 people to sign up for the VIP experience, you get to join me in a VIP mixer, right? So it's an early mixer before the challenge launches in July, but only the first 5 people to sign up gets access to it. And in the mixer, we get to meet face-to-face on Zoom, not in person, right? And I get to share with you a high visibility strategy for sales. That's the goal. Like when you're in the challenge, our goal is to help you to sell to your audience without sounding salesy or feeling icky so that you can feel confident on camera. The diamond experience is only for the business owners where you feel like, okay, I value exclusivity and I want to work one-on-one with Star because I want to know what's hindering me from being able to convert today, right? So that is only for the diamond experience members. When you go to content2cashchallenge.com, you'll see the 2 levels. All you have to do is choose the one that is going to benefit your business the most. And then I'll look forward to helping you right inside the challenge.
Yeah, and Star is like, I don't mean to brag, but I'm gonna brag. She knows her stuff, like for real, for real. She's not. She doesn't come to play. She's gonna deliver. Like you see all the gems she gave here. Like I'm just leaning on her at this point. I'm just leaning on her. But no, if you're serious and you're making that kind of money, definitely hit her up. We all come to a place in our business or our career or whatever where we hit these walls, and we just need somebody to show us the blueprint, the strategy. You heard her say her clients are already hitting 20K and beyond that. And so if you're somebody and you haven't hit that, or you hit that 8K and you're hit like at the ceiling, just go ahead and invest, and then be willing to show up and do the work. That's another thing. There's some people, they got the money, they don't care about it, but then they just don't show up and do the work. So if you want it to work for you, it'll work if you work it. She'll work if you work her.
Preaching. There are some clients, and maybe only a handful of my clients, that I have to thank them for using my brain. Because I'll get some people who just come in and stare at me. Star, you're so encouraging. But I'll get some people who's like, I need this one-on-one. What are we gonna be doing? I'm like, ooh, thank you for using my brain. Okay. Right. So you are absolutely right. And that getting stuck at that ceiling is a real thing. Like someone who came into my challenge, she was stuck at the 25K mark. She thought her offer is 25K. So she's bringing in one client each time. Like, yeah, this is about how much money I'll be able to make. And I'm like, girl, no, you should be making 100K. That's 4 clients that you should be getting from social media if you just knew how to put your video content out in a way that's going to attract your audience and be able to convert them.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
love that. Can I just throw one more point? On Sunday, my bishop said something that resonated with me. He was saying that no matter if you're the billionaire in the world or anybody, everybody has a need, right? And our job as entrepreneurs is to meet that need. He was given a story of how he was invited to this event, and he was invited there by a billionaire. And he was invited to the table to sit, and there was another billionaire that he wanted to know. He was like, I know this one, I need to know this one, right? My bishop is an intellect, so he likes to be in those types of rooms, in those types of settings. So he did a silent prayer and he said, God, show me a need that I can meet for this billionaire. And the need was like really, really simple. So the billionaire wanted tea, and they're in this really high value establishment, and they bring him tea in a paper cup. So the billionaire picks up the paper cup and puts it back down because it's so hot, right? And my bishop is like, what kind of establishment? In his mind, what kind of establishment? So he says he gets up, he goes back to the maitre d', and he was just like, can I get your best porcelain? Can you just give me that so I can, I don't even know if he told him, but he's just like, give me your best porcelain for this tea. So he goes back to the table, takes his seat, and then he takes the tea and he pours it in the porcelain for the guy, and he pushes back over to him. And then the millionaire says, or the billionaire says, why? Thank you. And then he says, what's your name again? And then next thing you know, they started having conversation. And now he's getting to know the person by having the idea of like, I need to meet their needs. Not like, oh my God, what can they do for me? His mindset was, God, show me a need in this man's life. And that need literally opened the door. And that opened up his network. So I just wanted to share that.
Girl, that was another golden tip. I'm tugging that one away. Like, why didn't I ever think to ask God, show me how to meet their need? That's so good. Oh man, thank you so much for sharing that. Because some of us can feel intimidated, like, how could I help them? They're more successful than I am. But again, like, Holy Spirit is a strategy.
Yeah.
Right? Holy Spirit is a strategy. And when we really just rely on him, he will show us, because there are people who are praying for the solution to your problem. And God is saying, I'm sending you, right?
Yeah.
But you want to show up speaking the language of their prayer. And if you just ask God, okay, and then get with a coach, because this is what God does. You'll ask God and then he'll send you a coach. And some of y'all mad because the coach come with a price tag. I've seen that. I wasn't mad when God sent me my coach with a price tag. My coach, first of all, I think we talked about this before. My first coach came with a $6,000 price tag, but I built a 6-figure business. My second coach came with a $27,000 price tag, but again, I built a 6-figure business, right? And it's a sustainable 6-figure business. So whenever God sends me a coach, I'll be like, okay, Lord, and can you cover the cost while you at it? Because if he sends the vision, he's going to send the provision too. And sometimes y'all don't be asking for the provision. You just looking at what's in your bank account now, and you're like, okay, well, I'll just I'll grab these scraps.
Mm-hmm.
And the provision too, Lord. Okay.
I be telling God straight up, this is your will, then it's your bill. Okay.
Your will, your bill. I love that. Hey, Precious. Okay. We're going to go ahead and wrap up. I don't see any questions in the chat, but we'll be back again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Again, we talk about 3 things: AI, content, and monetizing. If you want us to talk about anything else, we probably won't. No, I'm kidding. You can feel free to write it on the replay. Not kidding. That's what we're going to talk about. I'm not kidding. That's what we're going to talk about. But our goal is to help you to build wealth in your business, right? Because God gave us all the power to get wealth. But do you know what that power is? That power is your content. And that power is your business. But if you do not know how to work it, all you're going to do is squander it and leave money on the table. This is something that God showed me. He has money, he has wealth, and he wants to funnel it through your business. And the only way he can do that is if you have a legit business to attract the people, because the money is in the people's pockets, right? That's a story for a whole other day. We'll go into that next week.
As always, it's a pleasure. I love hanging out with you. I feel like this is just a FaceTime.
Me too.
And we let other people in on our conversation.
Now y'all get to know what we talk about all day. This is a texting voice notes all day long.
God sent me a nerd. I feel like I'm a nerd, and I feel like you're a nerd, and he just sent me a nerd, and I just love it. Because honestly, I think I know I prayed something in this magnitude. God, send me another me. Okay, because one of my best friends, she's a nurse. She don't get me. I love her. And then my other friend, she's in corporate America. Love her. But send me, okay, God, somebody who is a marketing genius, okay, who's smarter than me. Gotcha.
Hey, send me a prayer. I just wanted a friend. I was like, Lord, send me a friend. You know, someone I could do life with, though. I'll be very specific. Someone I could do life with. And it turned out we were teaching the same things. And I said, yes, you just be no. I'm telling you, God answers prayers. You just gotta pray.
Yes.
You have not because you ask not. And when you ask with the wrong intention. And we both like, we need someone for this next level. But in order for me to receive you, Quanda, he had to clear out. He was like, get going, get to scooting. He was like clearing people out my corner. Get out, get out. And then you came in and I was like, oh, thank you. I can see her clearly now. This is good.
And I didn't really know where we go. You know what I mean? I thought we would just, collab how we collabed, and that would have been the end of it. But no, like, you're my marketing twin.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And you know what? It's because you talk back. If you never responded to my text messages, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. You know this. I'm a talker. Like when we met for that first time, I was just like, I just feel like I'm talking the entire time. But I would carry a conversation. Okay, no, I really got to get to my clients now, though.
All right. I gotta see when this power is coming back on. Thank y'all for bearing with the storm and all of that. If you're watching the replay, the reason why it's dark over here is because it's storming, the power went out. And I just learned how to navigate through the storm. Okay.
That is a whole word. See, we're gonna be here for another 30 minutes because that's a whole word. Let me stop. I gotta stop. I gotta find that part. Okay, but we'll see you all next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a good one.